Guys, bjthebrave here. We've got another tier 1 Genestealer gold deck for you. I mean, at this stage, guys, I think I love this faction. I've said it a million times before. When this faction came out, I did not think it was going to be for me, just in terms of the background and lore. But the way that this faction is designed as a card game, I think it's the best designed faction in the game. And yeah, today's video is proof of that, because yet again we've come up with another tier 1 deck. I think there's legitimately 4 or 5 Saffa decks that could be tier 1 right now, and this is a different one again. So as you all know, Uprising is one of the keywords, sorry, for the GSC, and we've done combo decks before around it. Now I got this idea from Monolith, so shout out to Mono. Now he gave me a deck concept and an idea, and I've been playing with about 4 versions and refining the cards and sort of testing lots of different things, and I have come up with kind of like right now what I think I'm most happy with. So without further ado, let's dive into the deck. Of course, as always, guys, appreciate the support. If you want to hit that thumbs up on, let me know what you think about this video as we go through in the comments. I will be sure to respond. Alright, here we go. Here's the deck. Now, Monolith this Uprising deck is obviously based around Saffa, and Saffa enables us to draw, and primarily we want to be drawing for troops early on, and that is because we essentially win with a Metamorph Leader comboing out with a load of 1-drops. So we want to be gathering as many of our 1-drops and the leader in hand as we can, so that we can go off on turn 6 and do crazy things. If we're going second, we can keep the idle, which allows us to give ourselves an empty crystal back, and that can allow you to stick things like Perfect Ambush on Metamorph, who will be ginormous by that point. How do we get more 1-drops, you might ask? Well, we get more 1-drops because of this card, one of my favourite cards in the faction. I love this card, and it's one of the reasons I like playing Uprising, because it doesn't really always fit in sabotage type decks, and it's one of my favourite cards. So I love this card, and what this card does is it allows us to generate even more 1-drops, so that when Metamorph Leader, our win con, goes off, we have even more 1-drops to just build a ridiculous board. Guys, if you don't know, the Metamorph Leader makes units 1 less. Now that means all your 1-drops are free, and it says Uprising give +1 to all friendly troops. So every time you drop another 1-drop, the whole board gets +1 melee. Not your Warlord, it does say friendly troops. I think that is phenomenal. It creates this very go wide board on E6, which is, for a lot of decks, they can't deal with it. If you're able to make this guy invulnerable, even better. Don't forget that the Genestealer Familiar is now free, and that gives flank, which means that this guy can flank at something like 12 damage. Which is how big he'll be by the time you've played your board out. It's just phenomenal. It's really, really phenomenal. Now, you've got alternative win cons as well. We've got a copy of the Neophyte Leader, so just in case we don't draw the Metamorph Leader, we can obviously do a similar type of combo. This thing says Uprising give +1 melee and +1 range to all friendly troops. So you can play that out with a load of 1-drops. Obviously, they will cost 1, they won't be free. But at the same time, you only have to play 3 or 4 of those out with this guy, and you have a ridiculous board as well. So it's another alternate win con. And the final alternative, we do have a single Nexus, because potentially, it's not like a Nexus combo deck, this, so you're not going to get giant Nexuses off, but if you've got them down to, you know, 13, 14 health, potentially Nexus combo ideas could win it. But the other final kind of alternative win con is the Saboteur. Now, this wasn't a card that Monolith was running. I've added it in because I think the card's just too good to leave out, and even though we don't have a ton of if we just edit here, we can see what have we got. We've got 20 stratagems, right? So it is very troop heavy. So that does mean that Saboteur isn't necessarily got like loads of stratagems to go off, but you've got enough. And with Saffa, remember, you can draw, which is a stratagem in itself, and you can draw a stratagem. So that's all. You've always got 2, just because of the ability. Okay, so that's the win con, guys. Now, in terms of the mulligan, we always want to keep Metamorph Leader if we can find it. And what we're trying to do is really just survive, right? But what we've got is a lot of good things for surviving. So what you'll notice is we do still have some sabotage cards, like the Clandestine Operation, like the Backstab, like playing Biophagus on 3. And the reason for this is every time you do that, they have to spend 2 energy to get rid of it from hand. Of course, if we can put things like the Cult one in his hand, so he would potentially give us another 1-drop. If he doesn't understand what we're up to, then we might even sneak some more 1-drops out there. But the main point really is just to get him to spend the 2 energy. It slows him down, it disrupts his early game, and that's all you need. That's all you want so that you can go off with your combo. A really nice opening is to often just use Saffa to draw a troop, or if you are up against a real tempo-based deck, to play something like Clandestine, or to play Specialist, because that means they've immediately got a sabotage card in hand. I really like that. For example, say you're playing Siler and he goes first. So in your first turn you play this. Now he'd love to play his Noise Marine or his 3-drop, but now he can't because he's got to get rid of a sabotage card. So yeah, I would say Biophagus on 3, and then what you're looking to do there, and this is also where Nexus is good. You can play Nexus on 4. The reason for that is you've got these stealth units, which the next turn you can then drop the Iconbearer, and that means that you've got 2 units that can attack in the stealth unit plus your Lord. We also run double Neophyte Trooper. Now again, this wasn't a card that Mono was running in the original build. He was actually running the new 2-drop that does 2 damage every time you play a sabotage card. But I personally found this to be better. It's not as good to play like proactively just on turn 2, but what it does do is it gives you another flank. It gives you another way of kind of controlling the early board for cheap. And also, you can sometimes play this, instead of on turn 6 doing the Metamorph combo, you can do it on E7 instead, and you can play one of these, giving you like a giant flanker, right? Because this guy's going to be like, by the time you played all your 1-drops out, he's going to be like, you know, an 8 damage flanker for 1 energy. So there's so many combinations in this deck, it's phenomenal. I want to shout out Rogue Informant. This card's brilliant, guys. Like, look, if you get the dream, which is to find your Metamorph Leader with it, meaning when you deploy this guy, he's going to be in stealth. I mean, that is just... I can't even begin to tell you how above S tier that is. Like, it's so wrong. Similarly, getting the Neophyte Leader, another good target for it. But honestly, guys, what you'll find often is you'll just use this to find the thing you need. It might be perfectly acceptable to put a Jackal Scout in your hand. But often you'll look for things like Perfect Ambush, or, you know, if you've already got your kind of 6-drops, you'll just look for things that are going to combo with it nicely. So this dig card, I call it a dig card because it's basically a 1 energy dig for whatever the hell you need. And because this is a combo deck, that is a very powerful ability. Now, we do also run the Living Icon because it's another way of drawing through the deck, just like Clandestine Operation is. And we also run the Atalan Leader. And honestly, like, the main reason I play this is because it's just a really... I kind of feel bad about playing it. Like, I kind of want to drop it, but you sort of should just play it because, you know, it's E4. That's the time where you're trying to control the board just before, you know, E4, E5, just before you go off on your big combo. And it's just a phenomenal flanker, right? So... nothing really special. We're not really using all this fancy abilities. It's just really to have a really solid flanker, and that's about it, guys. So yeah, this is the deck. It's very, very powerful. One of the things that you want to play around with is the defense cards. So I've already said that the Idol's really good if you think that you will want to gain the tempo with the +1 to an empty crystal. And that means that you can play Perfect Ambush, for example, on your Metamorph Leader or something really, really powerful. But also, you know, playing the one that gives you a discounted troop by 2 can be really powerful because it can mean that with Metamorph Leader, you can end up playing like a really big unit down on that combo. So you can get another combo piece. And also Saboteur, I've got the level 40, and not everyone will have that, but if you have got level 40, even the Sabotage card for 0 is good. Why? Because it's for 0 cost, it forces him to spend 2 to get rid of it, and as we've already said, what you want to do in the early game of this deck is disrupt your opponent, force him to spend energy doing essentially nothing, like getting rid of a Sabotage card, For this deck, we look at that as you doing nothing. So that is the deck. I am pretty happy with this deck, to be honest, guys. I think this is really, really cool. Now, as I said, Mono's original build, he didn't have the Saboteur. He didn't have the Neophyte Leader, I think because he didn't own that card. And he didn't have he didn't have these guys. He had the ones I've already said that basically do 2 damage every time you do Sabotage. So he did have a few differences, but overall I am very, very happy with this version. Definitely tweak it, let me know what you think in the comments, but it is overall a very, very good deck. Now let's jump into some games. Alrighty, let's jump into some games. Zephyrblade, interesting. We'll just draw a troop. Nice. Nice. That's what we wanted to see. We want the Biophagus because that gives you a stealth unit that, in theory, means that you play the Neophyte the next turn and you can actually get to 2 cards to attack. Deploy the Biophagus. Pass. Okay, he's got 3 energy. Does he spend 2 on this? He does. Lovely little disruptor. Biophagus doing what Biophagus does best. And a general pain in the ass. Here we go. What we do now is we can play this, something like this. Obviously we have to attack. Really not the best one actually, Resilience, because no board left here, so we've just gone flank. Yeah. I think if we do this and this, probably go with draw another troop. Looking for like the leader. That one, the other one. Oh no, why have we lost connection? Are we back? We're back. Got the troop again. Oh, struggling. Slightly awkward hand. Don't get one of our 6 drops now. We might have to just go in. Okay, we've got one chance here. Okay, there we go. Kind of misplayed that then, right? Because that would have put that up to 4, so we missed an extra point of damage there, but... hey ho. Digging for the storm. Found it. Yeah, this thing getting stealth off the rampant is just so goddamn good. It's basically almost like another perfect ambush equivalent. Oh boy. How do we want to do this then? So you would do this.
The day of ascension approaches.
Obviously there's a million and one ways here that we can win the game. Oh, forget it. Just get on with it. Just get on with it, shall we? GG. Deck's so bonkers, guys. Deck is fun. Alrighty, next game. Deck is fun indeed. Azrael. Okie dokie. Against Azrael, I think all through is probably a good keep. Nice clear of the Deathwing Terminator. Got none of our combo pieces here, but nice stuff to deal with the first 4 turns. Okay, just played in a circle, right? Play this so that he can't then play the unit he wants to play. It's all about trying to disrupt Azrael best way you can. Yep. Okay. Kind of same again here. I hope he doesn't have the Terminator. He does. The reason I was saying that is because this turn I really want to play Neophyte. But obviously we kind of need to bore through here. Good way to do it then. Do we want to make this invulnerable? Is that like the craziest idea ever? Probably is a bit crazy, but let's try it. It's very low value, perfect ambush, but it does set us up to be able to play the Iconbearer. Huh. I mean, the question is just simply now, do we want to kill it? It's a bit annoying that we got to do this, to be honest. But I wanted to set this up, but we have got another one. Not the end of the world. We've also done Living Icon there, so it kind of got disrupted a little bit there. We could have just kept it up, I guess, but I think we'll do this, and then we'll set up like a big next turn, right? Guess we just kill this now. Bit annoying that we couldn't do it the other way around, but never mind. Okay. This dies to a flanker. There we go. And then in we go with the big boy. We can... There's two ways we can play this. We can play the flanker here, kill that early and then get the pings down on here, or we can use this to put on this. I kind of like this, if I'm honest. Who knows? Who knows which one's worse? They're both in hand. I mean, they're both bad, right? I don't know. Let's play that one. Don't want him going off on that. I mean, obviously, we could have played that for draw, and we might have found another troop that we could have then played. Kind of like another way of looking at it. Yeah, I mean, it depends what he's got, because if he's got the 8 drop, he can clear the big guy. If he's got the 7, the hunters, obviously he can clear the go wide board. But he didn't have that. I think he needed Deadly Hunters really there, to be honest. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Aun'Va. I think we might need the disruption here.
Accept our gift of liberation, or face the wrath of the Star Children.
You will embrace the Tau'va, or be destroyed.
Let's start by killing this with the backstab. And then that gives him immediately some things. Oh, interesting. Now we could play this here now, and then if we play this, then he starts to take things, right? Or we just play this. Yeah, let's just play this. Let's just play this and say, go on then, mate. That's 2 Neophytes turn. Yeah, you can only get rid of 1 this turn. Happy days. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, quite tempted to just drop this here.
So comes the moment of deliverance.
Next turn, I mean, if this does survive, like it's got to survive, right? Because he wants to get rid of the propaganda. Yeah, so now that means we can actually trigger Neophyte. It's good, and we can get the Rogue Informant off. Oh no! Okay. Nice try, BJ. Nice try. Okay, well, let's start with this. I really like this here, to be honest. Yeah, I really like this here. Because basically, now we reset the Iconbearer turn, and that puts us into... Yeah, so this turn we can play Iconbearer and Specialist, and then next turn we go off with Metamorph. Looking good to me. Activating Stealth Field. So we play this. The only question is whether we want... Oh, I don't think we do. It's going to leave him with 4, right? Leave him with 4 energy if he wants to... Get rid of the supplies, which of course he does. Okay. Kinda happy about that. What we're gonna do here is just do this. Clear this. Hit here. And next turn we are going to pop off, and he's just used AoE, so we should be in a decent little spot. Pathfinder? Sure, it's fine. No problemo, my friend, no problemo. So what I'd love to see here is Perfect Ambush or Genestealer. Genestealer's nice. I just have to think about when we attack. Attack now and get rid of that. GG! The day of ascension approaches! Deck is sick, guys. Deck is sick. So there you go, guys. I really do think that we have managed to improve upon this deck, and I think this is a really top deck right now. I definitely will be playing more of this season, and it has been my main GSC deck for climbing. I think there's about 5 powerful ranked decks in GSC right now, and this is right up there, so good. There are cards in there that things like the Atalan Leader. This is not a Nexus combo deck, so you know you could even drop Nexus if you really wanted to, but I like having one as an alternative. You know, you could drop a ball through, although I'm pretty happy with the 2. I kind of like the Troopers. I know that Monolith was using the 2-drop that does 2 damage every time you do Sabotage. It's a kind of another way of doing it. It's actually got spots you can like play with, but the core really, that burst baseline of all the 1-drops, the Perfect Ambush, and what's absolutely going on with the Metamorph Leaders or the Saboteurs, a backup plan. It's just a superb deck. Really, really powerful, really consistent, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up down below, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe check out this one next, which I'm sure you're going to love as well.